They didn't get it right. They did not get the right teams in for the college football playoff. You are out of your mind if you're still one of the people that believes this after watching yesterday's games. The 2023 college football playoff was amazing. 2 thrilling, gut-wrenching games. That was one of the best days of college football I've watched in my life. We had the 2 blue blood programs going down. We had a defensive battle. We had a high-flying offensive battle. It was everything you wanted. Drama in every aspect of the game. We didn't know what was going to happen. That was the best semifinals. Congratulations to the playoff committee for actually getting it right, sticking with your guts, putting Alabama in over FSU. FSU would have got trampled by a great Michigan team. I'm so excited. I could have made a video right after the playoffs, but I was just so burnt out. I was so emotionally thrilled with that game. I just had to go to sleep. I couldn't do anything else. So I'm making this video right now, giving my thoughts on the best college football playoff round that we've ever seen. There are not many times that you see a team win a game with that many mistakes. Michigan, their special teams was horrendous. The punt muffs, there were 2 of them. The missed extra point, there were just so many little miscues, but Alabama did it to themselves too. They shot themselves in the foot a couple times. A lot of penalties, a lot of mental errors that you don't expect from Alabama. But the thing that changed this game, all right, so I had Alabama winning this game. I thought the pressure wasn't going to get to Milroe. I think Milroe improvising was going to be great for Alabama. I thought Michigan was going to get the type of pressure on him where he could move out of the pocket, he could do things on the run, and he could improvise. That's where Jalen Milroe is his best. But the containment that the Michigan defensive line did, I slept on the Michigan D line. I know they had one of the best trenches in college football, but they shut down Milroe, especially in that first half. Alabama had 4 straight 3-and-outs. 4 straight. They sacked Milroe over 5 times that game. It was absolutely wonderful what Michigan did, and that's really what made the difference in the game. J.J. McCarthy, you deserve an apology from myself and many other people around the country, because during the middle of the season, when they were saying that you were a Heisman contender, I was not buying it, and a lot of people were sleeping on it. I was saying, J.J. McCarthy, this guy is not a championship QB. He's seriously nothing special. He's all right. He's a good QB. He can be behind center. He can be a game manager, but yesterday, he showed those big-time plays. It's more than just his numbers. His numbers were great. 221 yards, 3 touchdowns, but that kid is tough as nails. He's clutch, and he can be there when you need him. That trick play where he caught it with one hand, he spun around, threw it, took the hit. Oh my gosh, this is a championship QB right here. He's not going to wow you like Jalen Milroe with that athletic ability. He's not super sexy, but he gets the job done. He knows the system. What a big-time player. J.J. McCarthy, you just completely surprised me. I was in shock with how you played. I knew that Michigan had the advantage in the trenches, but I still went with Alabama. They were just so hot going in that game. I had more trust in Nick Saban over Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh had never won a playoff game, although there's a first time for everything. But Michigan really proved that they were the most balanced team in the country. I mean, they didn't play that great a competition this year. They looked amazing, but I was still stubborn. I was still stubborn about them, but they showed that they can really do it in any way. They can run the ball. They can play action. They could beat you on the line of scrimmage. They had some great playmakers. Congratulations to Michigan. It was overtime. Alabama was down 27-20. It was 4th down within the 5-yard line. And I still don't know what they did on that play call. I know it was a low snap. You guys all saw it. People on Twitter were going crazy about it. I was screaming at my TV. I was screaming. The neighbors heard me. Everyone in my neighborhood freaking heard me because I was just so upset about that play. I didn't know what they were doing. At first, I was like, well, this can't be a designed run. It just had to be a bad snap. Jalen Milroe had to improvise. But then I saw them pulling the guard. So maybe Milroe was supposed to cut back. But either way, Michigan had it defended well. I don't know, man. I mean, that's a tough way to go out. I mean, go with your guns. Go with your most athletic player. Put the ball in your best player's hands. I get what you're doing for Alabama, but that's still an anticlimactic way to end a great game. Either way, it went to overtime. That game was a thriller. A little too much defense for my liking, all right? I'm an offensive guy. I like seeing the ball go up in the air. That's why I was more excited for the Texas-Washington game. But how we started with the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. So scenic. Defensive battle, blue bloods. I was already into it. I was like, wow, come on now. Michael Penix Jr. All right, guys, is Jaden Daniels still your Heisman? Or are you guys switching over yet? Like I told you so many times, he proved he was the most outstanding player in the country. He looked like prime Tom Brady, TB12 last night. There was a stretch in the third quarter, 11 straight passes completed, 12. This guy could not miss. The way he just drops dimes in one-on-one coverage, the way he threads it between the defensive back and the safety is unbelievable. And you know what's funny? I heard people before this game saying that Texas had a better receiving core than Washington. If you actually believe that, you just did not watch West Coast football, because I get it. Those games are late. A lot of people don't watch the Pac-12. I'm on the West Coast, so of course I'm always staying up for it, and I knew what Washington had. They were so dangerous. Kalen DeBoer built this up. I mean, he's always had a great offense, but for Washington to really do this, if you said this to me a year or 2 years ago that he would build it this fast and bring them to a national championship contender, I just would not believe you. But the makeup of this team is insane. We pretty much got what we expected from this game. High scoring, yes. Washington throwing the ball everywhere, yes. Texas's defensive line stopping the run. They did a great job. I did pick Washington in this game. Texas was unable to stop that deep pass, and it's not saying Texas has a bad secondary, not at all. Washington, this team is just stacked in every single way in the wide receiving core. The thing that's forgotten in this game is how many times Michael Penix went to Jack Westover, the tight end. In so many third down situations, in so many zone coverages, Westover found the hole, and he made a lot of catches that kept moving the chains. And I know a lot of people are going to talk about the best wide receivers for Washington, their top 3, top 4 guys, but Jack Westover is really what makes this engine go for the Washington offense as well. And also, the game of the tight ends, Jatavion Sanders for Texas, 75 receiving yards and 6 receptions. This guy is a pleasure to watch. He's going to be a top 2 tight end in the draft. I hope that injury late in the game doesn't affect his stock or anything. Obviously, it's not going to affect Texas not playing again, but an injury that will affect a team playing in the championship is Dylan Johnson for Washington. Wow, that was just unfortunate in many ways. Dylan Johnson is so important for the Washington Huskies because you need a guy that can open up those one-on-ones. You need a guy that can open up those big throwing windows downfield, and having a running back starts that all. Not only did Dylan Johnson going down give Texas another shot at the end zone? Because let's face it, if Washington didn't have that injury, they would have milked the clock under 25 seconds, and there is no way that Texas getting the ball with under 25 could have got to the 15-yard line. They most likely would have done a Hail Mary, and that is a way lower percentage than obviously an easy one-on-one to the end zone. It would have been a 4-on-4. Come on now. And second, Washington's not going to have Dylan Johnson against Michigan because he got carted off. There is no way that this guy goes on the field in 7 days. There's not much information out yet. Obviously, Washington doesn't want to give their hand away to Michigan and say, oh yeah, he's injured. They're going to want to decoy and get him guessing all week. But come on, what are they going to give this guy? Some magical potion to be good? All right, yeah, you broke your leg. Here you go. Here, drink this chug jug. Yeah, you're good. No, he's not going to play, and he is one of their top guys. Like, if you don't think Dylan Johnson is that important, you really don't know ball. The national championship game, Washington versus Michigan, will not be a repeat of Georgia TCU. I'm telling you guys, because I'm going out on a limb and saying the 2023 playoffs are the best of all time. And a lot of you are going to say, well, last year the semifinals were just as good. Michigan versus TCU was insane. And obviously Georgia and Ohio State went down to a final field goal at the last seconds. But that was the worst national championship ever. And that's not going to happen again. We've seen Washington. Everyone says, oh, they're going to get blown out by Oregon in the Pac-12 championship. Oh, Texas is going to handle them. Washington will always play a close game. And I stand on that. The way this team is built, there is no way that they get blown out. They will always be close, and we're going to get the exact same in the national championship. Get your popcorn ready. This is going to be insane. That was hilarious late in the game in the Sugar Bowl where they went on the sideline and panned in on Arch Manning about 5 to 7 times saying, Arch Manning's stretching over there. He's throwing the ball. He's taking some warm-up throws. Of course, you're going to have your quarterback warm up when your starter, Quinn Ewers, eats the dirt, gets his head slammed in the ground, and has to go through concussion protocol. I mean, that's just simple. But that would have been cinema if Arch Manning went in the game. I think that would have boosted ESPN and college football ratings even more. I mean, college football, if you want some more money, I mean, you should listen to me. You should have put Arch Manning in that game. Nope, I'm just kidding, guys. Washington Huskies fans, 14-0. You're on top of the world. But this must have been the most gut-wrenching season of all time because every single game you had a cardiac moment. Every single game it was down to one last final play. Most of the time Washington was on offense and it was just a one-on-one to Odunze that was thrown by Penix that sealed the game. That happened in the Oregon State game, which almost made me cry because I was at that game and I was rooting for Oregon State. But this time too, I mean, they do it to you every time. They come out and they win in the end, so you guys must have confidence that you guys have one of the clutchest teams in the country. But still, as a fan, if I was the fan of the Huskies, it would be hard. It would be hard to watch those final plays. Texas, the future is bright, though. I mean, you guys are going to the SEC. That's going to be a tougher conference. A lot of people are saying Texas can't compete. Texas can't hang. But they will be one of the top 3 or 4 teams in that conference next year, I believe. The thing that Sark's doing there, he's bringing in a lot of great recruits. And you guys will also beat Oklahoma next year. I'm saying it now. Sorry, Oklahoma. I got a lot of Boomer Sooner fans here as my subscribers, but no, Texas is beating you. They're looking ahead of you guys for next year. And Crimson Tide fans, you may not want to hear this, but you guys are spoiled enough. I mean, how many national championships have you guys won in the last 10 to 15 years? 100, 1,000. You guys pretty much win all the time. So this loss, it shouldn't mean that much to you when you have programs like Michigan and Washington that are super hungry. So why can't everyone just be happy? Come on, that's what college football is all about. We got some amazing games. Like, why can't we be happy with that? That was a great way to end the 14 playoff. I'm so excited for the 12 team next year. Oh my gosh. gosh, we get campus games. The first round is going to be campus games. Imagine a college football game on campus. That is going to be jumping. That's going to be cracking. I hope it's Oregon State. Yep. Out of the Mountain West, out of the Pac-2, we're coming. As Future and Drake said, what a time to be alive. We got an absolute gift this year with the college football playoffs. And thank you guys so much for reaching the end of the video, especially these rambling ones where I'm just going crazy, talking a million miles per hour. If you made it to the end, you are a real one, and I appreciate you so much. I'm Saturday Shenanigans. I post 3 college football videos a week along with YouTube Shorts every single day. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss out on another great upload like this. Also, join the best family in college football. What are you doing? I've been Saturday Shenanigans, your home for unfiltered college football content, and I'll see you guys soon.